Hey, Coach, how are you? Thank you for joining us. And we have
I'm
about,
doing well.
good, thanks, Coach. We have about 30 media people on here with us, so we're going to jump into question and answer right away. To our assembled
Okay.
media, if you would please use the raised hand function. We're going to begin right away with questions for Coach Tanisha Wright. And we're going to start right away with Akeem. Akeem, go ahead. Just a reminder to everybody to use the raised hand function. Akeem, you're up.
Thanks, and best of luck this season. Best of luck this season. It has to be exciting, especially after last year, nearly making the playoffs, playing in front of sold out games at Gateway. It has to feel really exciting, given that this is an Atlanta Dream team and organization that from the front office to the team is on the up and up. So just how is it that you're feeling, given the fact that we've kind of gone out the rebuild, and now, there's playoff expectations for this team.
Yeah, we're excited in general. We're excited to continue to build off the success that we had last year. We thought last year was a success to us, regardless of making the playoffs or not. We thought we implemented some things, we changed some things here that really had us excited about what the future holds. So we're excited to jump into the season. Anytime we get another opportunity to get out there on the court, I think it's fun. I think our players are excited. So it should be fun times this year to be back in Gateway Arena in front of our crowd. So we're really excited about that.
All right, thank you, Akeem. And we're going to turn to Andrew. And again, one more reminder to the folks with us, use the raised hand function, and we're going to move it along. Andrew.
Yes, hi. I'm from Ann Arbor. I cover the Michigan program here. I've got a two-parter on your two Wolverines, if you don't mind. First, what are your expectations for Naz Hillman entering her second season? And second would be, what is Leah Brown showing you in the preseason, and do you expect her to make the roster?
So let's start with Naz. Naz is we're looking for growth. We're looking for growth with Naz. We thought Naz came in and did an amazing job for us at that position, and so we're super excited to see what she continues to add to her repertoire. We thought Naz had a great year, a great off season for her and herself. Made some great strides, was able to get some game time by playing AU and did really well there. So we're just excited for her growth and her leadership that she's going to provide to us. Leah is somebody who we brought in thinking that we really liked her skill set. Big guard, can handle the ball, et cetera, et cetera. And she's definitely shown that throughout camp. So, she definitely has an opportunity. There's no doubt about that. But we're excited, obviously, about both of them. And Leah's shown some great things throughout camp that we really like.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to turn now to Annie Myers-Drysdale. Annie, you're going to be followed by Nikias. Annie.
Hey, Tanisha, good luck this season.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Good to talk with you. Can you follow up a little bit on Leah? You talked about her being a big guard and so forth. Does she remind you of you at all a little bit? But then also just wanted to talk about the new players coming in, especially with Alicia Gray, too.
Yeah. I mean, she surprised me in camp. I will say that, you know what I mean? Like, you can see her basketball IQ, her ability to handle the ball. She plays with the toughness that we like. She reminds me a little bit of a player that Phoenix has, and Sophie. I think she might handle the ball just a little bit better, especially in the open court, but reminds me a lot of Sophie. As far as our other players, we're super excited. I mean, Alicia's somebody who's a pro's pro. You know exactly what you're going to get from Leash day in, day out. Super consistent. And as you know, for a coach, you love that, right? You love to know what you're going to get from a player every day, know that you can count on a player each and every time that they step on the floor. There's certain things that they're going to bring to the table that's never going to waver, regardless of if their shot is going in or not. So really excited about Leash. LA, doing really good things in camp as well, still learning and growing, and the same with Haley. Just smart basketball player, high IQ. Both of them are still learning about the pace of the W, but they're doing a good job. They're doing everything that we're asking them in camp, and they're getting better each and every day. So we're looking forward to
can
having.
you follow up on Monique Billings too?
What about Mo, Coach? What are you asking about,
Yeah,
Mo?
just follow up on her. What you've seen improve coming into camp.
In camp. Mo has done, again, another consistent player for us. Mo is unique to me. There's not many players like Mo, I think, in our league who can affect a basketball game with their energy and with their effort and different things like that. And so Mo is definitely bringing that to the table. We're going to be looking at Mo to bring some toughness to our team in that respect. But Mo's looked good in camp as well. Came in shape, ready to go. So definitely appreciate that. But Mo's looking good as well.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Annie. And Nikias, you're up.
Hi, Coach. I hope you're having a great day. Wanted to ask about the Dreams defense. Between camp and the preseason, how do you feel your team is coming along defensively? What steps would you like to see taken as the regular season gets ready to tip off?
Yeah, we're not great right now, if I'm honest with you, according to our 2 preseason games. But, preseason are opportunities to get better. So we still have another 4 days of practice for us to get better. We need to get better with our on-ball defense, being able to guard the ball one-on-one, and then our help side defense. We didn't do a great job of that in our preseason games with covering those gaps, being a help side, forcing skip passes, and then being able to close out and defend one-on-one. So those are specifically 2 areas that I want to see us grow in the next few days. And we just have to be intentional about doing that.
Got you. And for you in particular, going from a player to a coach, like what kind of, has there had to be like an evolution in the way that you watch film from transition to your playing days to your coaching days? And if so, what has that been like?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have coached at the collegiate level. And so I don't think it was a huge transition in terms of the W, because once you learn how to watch film and cut film and do all that thing and see what you're supposed to be looking for, then it becomes easier. So it wasn't a huge transition between, college and W. The first layer to that was learning how to do it on the collegiate level, and cutting film and different things like that. But you're just looking for more detailed things as a coach, whereas players, at least for me as a player, I'm looking at very specifics in terms of player tendencies and stuff like that. But I think as a coach, you're looking for it more as a whole. Certain plays, certain tendencies, this, that, and this, comfortabilities, different things like that. So I think, I was lucky enough to have gone to college first before I started W.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks, Nikias. And you can be followed by Akeem. Akeem, you're up.
Thanks once again. And just to follow up on my earlier question, the fact that, if I remember correctly, your first game of the season is going to be a nationally televised on ABC. So feelings going into that, especially, the fact that it kind of gives the entire nation a chance to see exactly what your team will look like already right off the bat.
Yeah, to be honest with you, we run a different system than most in our league. So people will at least have already known us from last year because of our system from last year. But I'm excited to see where we are. Right, I'm excited for a game to be near it. Like any coach, you would love another week or another 2 weeks to continue to prepare. But that's just not the nature of our league and our season. And so because of that, I'm excited for us to have the opportunity to play against another team and for us to rise to the occasion in terms of closing the gap on our deficiencies from preseason into that game on the 20th. So should be a fun opportunity for us. And anytime the league is getting started, it's a good time for us.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right. One more time, I'm going to check for questions for Coach Tanisha Wright. And we're going to go back to Nikias. Nikias.
Yeah, I'll hop back in here. Coach, in terms, if we can zoom out for a bit with the league at large, it feels like the league itself is definitely evolving in terms of the popularity and things like that. On the court, what do you think the next evolution of the league will be? And do you feel like with the roster that you've assembled with Ryan Howard, with Alicia Gray, even drafted Haley Jones, kind of those playmaking versatile wings, do you feel like you will play a part in kind of modernizing the league in that way?
I don't know, super teams. That's where it looks like it's going, right? I think we just live in a generation where, and we're unique, right? Because a lot of the W players have the ability to play overseas, and they do play overseas. And so when they have those opportunities, they get to play with different players, and they build chemistry, and they build relationships. And so when they come back to the W, people want to play with people that they're comfortable with and that they've played with and that they've enjoyed. And so spending those summers together, different things like that. So I think we're unique in that way, where players just want to play with players that they're comfortable with. And so, that's fine. That's good. Like, it's just part of it. It's part of the game. The game is always going to be evolving and different and looking different from now. 10 years from now, it'll look like something else. Maybe it'll go back to wanting to be rivals with the best players rather than all teaming up and playing with each other. Either way, I'm okay with it. It's basketball. It's fun. As a coach, it's challenging, but I think that's where the joy is, and that's where the fun part of it is as well. So, or the competitive part of it as well. So, it's all fun and loving basketball, I guess.
Got you. And just as a quick follow-up, in terms of on-court play, do you feel like there's a big shift moving forward?
I think we've had a shift in terms of the type of players that we've had in the forward position looks a little bit different. We don't have as many traditional fives. We have players who are stepping out and being able to play on the perimeter a lot more now. And so that's obviously a little bit different, and it changes the look of the league, and it'll change sometimes the makeup of your team. You know what I mean? So I do think that's something that's been different in the most recent years, and will continue to trend that way from now on, just because of the skill level and what people are now doing in terms of getting ready to be pros.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. We're going to turn to Drea. Drea, you're going to be followed by Andrew. Drea, go ahead.
Thanks. Hey, Coach. Excited for the season.
Hey, thank you.
Question on Ryan and her development. What have you seen from her specifically, and what areas do you feel like she's worked on or added to her game coming into this season?
So I think Wright, seeing her now is a lot more comfortable. I think, having a year under her belt and understanding the league and the players in our league, I think that is given her a comfortability in a good way, right? Because it's like, okay, now I know what to expect, and I know where the level of my game has to be. And so I think in the off season, we really challenged Rye and talked to Rye about diversifying her game. We all know that she's a sniper. She can knock down the deep threes. But being able to use her whole arsenal, I think, is going to be really important for our team's success this year, just because Rye is capable of doing multiple things and more things, and she can do a lot of things really well. So being able to use those that repertoire and use those other skill sets.
Perfect. And then I had one more, Ron, if that's okay with you. Coach, when you talk about your defense needing to improve, who can set the tone, whether it's rotating on the right spot or locking down one-on-one, like who can set the tone defensively from what you've seen so far?
I think, to be honest, it's a collective. But if I had to, because we want to play a defense that's collective. Like, we know that you're going to need some defensive stoppers for sure, but we got to be able to get it done as a group, which means everybody has to be high level. But if I had to pick a few players that could really set the tone for us, Leisha's one of them. Alicia Gray, D-Rob is another one. Ari McDonald is another one. Those three have to be high level defensively every single time out. And I think in the post area, I would say Cheyenne has to step up and become that for us as well. And Nas obviously and Nia as well. Listen, all of them, Mo, they all have to be really good. In order to play the way that I want to play, they all have to be high level defensively. We want to do it collectively, but setting the tone, I think, always starts with the guards. The guards set the tone. So those three guards, I think, have to set the tone for us.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Drea. Andrew, you're up. You're going to be followed by Kevin. Andrew.
Yeah, thanks. Getting back to Nas, how much of her development hinges on her expanding her game, maybe showing more of an outside shot versus, I don't know, honing the things that made her a college All-American?
Yeah, I think that's that's spot on. And I think that Nas, I know, I witnessed it. Nas put a lot of work in the off season in terms of having confidence in her shot, taking those outside shots. We have confidence in Nas to be able to knock those down, mainly because we've seen the work that she put in the off season. And so she just has to continue to have confidence that she can knock them down as well. So we're looking forward to Nas doing all those things that made her great at the collegiate level, and also now expanding her game in terms of being confident that that she could take those shots with confidence.
All right. Thank you. We're going to turn to Kevin.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Kevin Lewis of the 9450. Just to expound on Drea's question regarding Ryan Howard and adding the mix to gold medal Alicia Gray. What strikes me about them two is they kind of give you, it gives me a reminder of Tweety Nolan and Swing Cash, two players that you've competed against in your time playing in the league. So how is that dynamic with those two coming in is going to set the tone for the team as a whole, as you're going to look for them for the most part to kind of lead this team into success this season?
Yeah, the dynamic between the two have been great. I mean, Rye has only been in a few practices, but even from the very beginning, from the first day, you can see that there was a chemistry between those two that worked really well off of each other and that complements one another. So, that was great to see. I think in the off season when the trade was happening, they made an exertive effort to get to know each other, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been really good to see it kind of play out on the court. And to your point, yes, we're going to need them. We're going to need them to lead. So they have to continue that, be at the forefront of everything that we're doing. Them, CP, et cetera, et cetera.
And just one last question to follow up in regards to the draft pick, Letitia, me here. In my opinion, one of the most dynamic, versatile players that we've seen in college, and coming off the bench for Coach Don Staley for the most of her tenure. How has her development been in training camp, and what are you looking most forward to for her to help improve on, and what things that she can do to help build to be successful this season as well?
Yeah, I agree with your assessment of LA. LA's a rookie, and so she's still learning, just like all of our rookies are still learning. The adjustment period for the W can be hard. You're talking about pace, you're talking about speed, you're talking about physicality, different things like that. I think where LA can make a huge difference, and she's starting to learn this, you know what I mean? Little by little, I think the more time she gets, she'll get it. That when she steps on the court, that she has to be the hardest working. Like, her level of play in terms of how hard she goes has to be top notch. And so she's still learning that, but they're all still learning how hard it is to play at this level day in, day out. But I think once LA gets that and it clicks and she has that aha moment, like, oh, this is the level that I have to be at, like sky's the limit for that kid because she is so versatile. Her athleticism, she has a different skill set. She still needs to add on to her skill set, right? She has to expand her range, different things like that. But I think, you know, with our roster, she'll have time to be able to do that.
Awesome. Thank you very much and good luck this year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right,
Absolutely.
we're gonna go back to Ann Myers Drysdale. Annie.
Wait. Tanisha, just to expand on that, what did you like about Haley Jones and what has she brought into training camp? And again, being a rookie, having to learn a lot of different things and the level of play of the WNBA, but where do you see her game going?
Yeah, Haley's an amazing playmaker. That's what I really love about her. She has the ability to make plays not only for herself, but she can make plays for others. She's versatile. I think Haley is very cerebral. She's a thinker. And so sometimes that's a great thing. Sometimes it's not so great, right? Because you think about every little thing. And so right now she's in the space where as a rookie, she's still thinking about every little thing. And I think once we get her just to forget about every little thing, go out and play, her playmaking ability is going to spring her to the next level, in my opinion. So that's what I really like about what I've seen so far. And she's getting more comfortable every single day. The first week of camp compared to the second week of camp looks completely different for her. And so I'm really excited to see Haley's continued growth in that.
Thank you, Tanisha.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Annie. We have time for one more question with Coach Tanisha Wright, and that's going to go to you, Akeem. You're up.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Typically, coach speak is usually every game is a big game. But when your team's schedule first came out, especially given that we're in a 40-game season, was there any particular games that you particularly dare I say circled on your calendar as like, okay, like I'm really excited for this one?
To be honest, yes. So the Chicago games, the Washington games, the Connecticut games, those were games that we didn't get to beat that team at all last year. And so for me as a competitor and as a coach, I'm really excited to see this team's challenge, like how they rise to the challenge of getting swept by a team, and even me as a coach, right? Where I need to be better to help my team find success against those teams. All three of those teams were really high level teams last year, and teams, quite frankly, playing at a level where we want to get to. They've had success for years, different things like that. And so those are three teams for me this year that I like to see us make strides against in terms of, we got swept last year. So this year we got to get some dubs against those teams.
Thanks once again.
All right. Thank you so much, Tanisha. Best of luck when we start the season in just a couple of days. Thanks for your time today. Much appreciated. Thanks, Tanisha.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you to our media. That concludes